Hey Floss Tube, my name's Tamara. This is Lit Cat Stitches and I'm here today with a WIP parade. I'm a few months late. I recorded a WIP parade before and didn't get it edited in time to actually make sense to sort of share it because I'd worked on a bunch of things and then it was, I don't know, I got into my own head about it. And there were several other floss tubes that I recorded. So I'm recording today in the hopes that I can actually post a video. It's been, let's see, probably since October. So it's been a bit and I have a lot of WIPs and I'd like to do a WIP parade so I can kind of start with a clean slate and film on a regular basis and be able to provide some updates in a regular fashion. So that's the plan. I have 48 WIPs and I have two things that I've finished that I know of since we last talked, but that are also kind of WIPs. So that kind of brings it up to 50. They're two kits. So my plan is to show you the two things that I finished. Then I'll go in order of oldest to newest. And I'll give you a sense of just kind of dates and things. I'll tell you all of the information that I have on hand. It's possible that there might be things I don't know, but like I said, I'll give you what I can. I have a bin of WIPs over here to my right, and then I have all of these behind me. So at some point there'll be a pause as I shuffle some things around. And I, really thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you're new here, welcome. I'm really happy to be back filming. And if you're returning, thanks so much. It really means a lot to me. I love our conversations and I love sharing my love of cross stitch with you. So let's get started. So there's gonna be a crinkle. 1 second. It was sent in those lovely bags that we love to hate. So first things first is I'm part of the Bitty Bowl Club from Pine Mountain, excuse me. So the first thing I finished was one of the February pieces. I finished the little pillow here in front. These patterns are really great. They're sent every month. They come with, I just realized, get into my little cabinet of curiosities here. It's sent with a bowl, so it's meant to sort of be like a little arrangement. They don't send the floss, so you kit it up yourself. I kitted it up with mostly the called for, a couple overdyes here and there for things that I didn't have in the DMC. And like I said, I finished the little pillow. So it's very cute. It comes with backing fabric, so I'll back it, and then the chenille is meant to go around the side. There's like a nice little card. This is the piece of fabric for the bag, which I haven't made. There's like all the little goodies. So that's the first one that I finished, and that was the charm. That was the first one that I am considering still a WIP, but also a finish. So the next one is the March version, which we just got. Here's March. Again, this is from Pine Mountain. I can show you. I don't think they have the kits anymore. I think they were all sold out, but definitely keep your eye on the shop. I think they did one last year too that I didn't get in on. So for this one, I wanted a little change of pace, so I did the bag. I haven't fully finished it yet. But here's the bag. This one, there were a few more DMCs that I didn't have that I substituted fancy floss for, but very much in the same spirit of the piece. And this one gets finished with, you know, like this ribbon. There's a little, I don't know if it'll be able to focus on that. Let me hold it here. There's like a little charm, and it's really sweet. So finishes, but also WIPs. Let me just pile everything together here so I don't lose anything. Definitely don't want to lose that charm. Okay, so now we'll go in chronological order. And the first one I have is from 2013. It's Beautiful Bird by Dimensions. There's a little bit of a glare. I'm trying out this ring light, so if the lighting isn't great, I apologize. I'm still trying to figure it out. So Beautiful Bird, like I said, 2013. It's Kit Ada, Kit Floss. Old enough that I have masking taped my edges. But I'm here, it's almost done. And this is on my WIP Go, and my plan is to finish it. It's time. This is the second piece that I ever cross stitched. So it's got half stitches. There's a counting error in here, but it's just the feathers, so I think it's fine. I think this one is missing its like little blue dot, but it's like higher up. It's fine. It's gonna get finished. So 2013, very fancy project bag. Note, these are terrible bags. Do not buy these off of Amazon. They stick to your patterns if you've printed it yourself. So if you've printed a PDF, these are not, this is not the way to go. Okay. The next one I have is from 2020. So boy, that pandemic hit, and just like everyone else, I was like, yep, definitely time to get back into cross stitching. This is from Junebug and Darlin. They sell kits and also just individual patterns. This was the kit though. It came with the hoop, felt, the fabric to back it with, the floss. This is their beautiful card. Really, really nice stuff. Comes on these little things here. And I did put some more French knots into this last year, but there's a lot of back stitching and about 1.5 million French knots to go, because all of those flowers are French knots, and then I still have the words to do. But really a really nice kit, and very good practice for French knots. So that's from 2020, March 20, 2020. How many 20s can I say there? Literally 7 days after lockdown. I was like, help! And here we are. Here we are. The start of a beautiful friendship. Next, I was like, well, I don't lose the pattern. Oh, jeez. Next, I was like, well, if I'm gonna go in on all of this, I might as well go in all the way. And decided that Long Dog Sampler was the way to go. I purchased, you know what, let me show you on here. I purchased the Pilgrim. I purchased it, I printed it out. I didn't know better. I didn't know anything about Pattern Keeper. I didn't know anything about anything, to be honest with you. Nope, I don't want that one. And so this was January 1st, 2021. That date is not 100% correct, but that's okay. Let me see if this, I've never shared from my tablet before. Nope. Oh, yep, beautiful ring light. Beautiful Christmas lights that are still up. Nope. Here we go. I'm a professional, in case you were wondering. They do not pay me for this. So this is Long Dog Samplers, The Pilgrim. I am not super far on this. I'd like to tell you. I'm 8.4%, which is actually better than I thought. I put quite a bit of work into this recently, this month, because there was a lovely leap dog, long dog leap year sale. And while I would love to start all of the long dogs because they are beautiful, I have this one that I'd like to finish. So I worked it out that I need to do 250 stitches a week on this every week until 2028 in order to finish, which really isn't that bad. 250 stitches is very manageable. That's one sitting for me, you know, and that's not even like a full stitchy session. So I'm using Gentle Arts Deep Sea is the blue, which is a lovely variegated blue. The green is Sulky 4020, and the fabric is a Silk Weaver Solo Dye. So hard to get because it's Silk Weaver, even harder to get because it's one of a kind. The fabric is huge. It's in the Nerge because I was working on it and I plan to work on it again this week. So this month I finished this guy and I put in this little house, or I don't know what it is. This is like a road, it seems. And so this seems to me like a little way station or something. And I also put in some stuff up here in the top of the city. Beautiful. I love it. And I'm loving working on it. It's 2 strands over 2 on 32 count. And then I discovered not only can you buy things from like longdogsamplers.com, but like there's this whole world of Etsy. And you can buy patterns from them, and I discovered Mama Witch Stitch. This is in an 805 stitcher bag. Let me show you her logo. There we go, 805, a little blurry. It's really pretty. It's a nice autumnal bag. I'm using called for DMC minus like the white. I'm using like Legendary instead. I'm stitching this on 20 count black Aida. 1 strand of floss. And he's got a little head and half of a hat and no body. Well, half a body. I haven't worked on this recently. I think I took it out in maybe September last year. I have a counting error somewhere in here. Not that it really matters, but it's throwing off where I need to put the shadows for his little limbs. So you'll see I kind of went through and just like put in the outlines of that so I can try and fill in with these other colors, because the color changes are really pretty, you know, and I've got them in his face correct. So it shouldn't be a big deal, but it's, you know, it's like a mental block. You're like, oh, I have a mistake in that. Do I really want to stitch? I'm sure there are some of you out there that that are with me. Please tell me I'm not alone in this. I'm sure I'm not. I'm sure I'm not. Okay, next up in the finding things online, I found L Forest Embroidery, and I started the dinosaur forest. I've worked on this a little since I've showed it last, I'm pretty sure. It is a beautiful pattern. It's on 28 count linen using the called for floss, which is part of the kit. And I don't know what I've worked on since I've shown you last, but I'm pretty sure I did this, some of the border, and maybe these doobly-doos. The goal, you'll see it's not, I don't have anything over here, is because what I want to do is instead of this big palm tree, which I'm not a big fan of, I'm going to put my son's birth details in there. He turned 7 in April. So, you know, it'll get done before he graduates high school, I think. Maybe. I do really love working with the floss. It's just not one that I'm like currently drawn to work on. And part of that may be because it's in this box, so I don't like keep it with my other WIPs, so I'm not like seeing it. I might need to change the way I have this stored. If you know any good dinosaur bags, let me know. That was started April 1st, 2021. Then I found a lot of floss tubes and discovered the pandemic Sal, and this is what I was talking about with those bags. Because it was printed, it's stuck. So it's just laminated now. So this is the 2020 pandemic sampler from Sarcy Girl, which is, you can find, it's Sarcy Girl with a U, G-U-R-L. Everybody was stitching this. I am stitching this on a 40 count Heritage by Picture This Plus. And I've been working on it. 40 count Heritage, 1/1, called for DMC, except this orange is like a shade lighter or different. I didn't have, it was like 920 something that was called for. 921, and I'm using 301. I just basically used an online converter to say, hey, I don't have this floss. What can I use? This month, I stitched this basket with these flowers, and getting that like dark green, that's 500, and 924, like the green and the blue, really brings it to life, because it's just like orange, orange, orange. But I really think the that blue really, that was probably loud, makes it pop. Sorry for your ears. So this is also on my WIP Go, and it's on my Year of WIPs, which is from Soulful Stitching. It's my first time participating in Year of WIPs. I don't have any finishes yet, and it's March, so we'll see. Then I started the Cryptid Sal. Started this in August of 2021. This is in a project bag I can't remember the maker of, and like I feel terrible because it's a really nice bag. And I went back at my Etsy history to try and find it, and it's not there, so I don't know where I got it. Cryptids. I am using similar to the called for floss, some overdyes, typical, very close to what's called for. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Murky. Haven't worked on it in forever. I've got a counting error down here in that frame for which is going to be the jackalope, and also a counting error in that frogman. So I have to figure it out. It's really, really nice, and I really like it. But again, it's just the mental block. And they say, like, if you have an error, fix it right away or you'll just never go back to it. Boy, I should have listened. It's really pretty. Maybe I should just have, like, instead of a stitching session, I should have like eat your vegetables session and just frog everything that I know is wrong so that I can get myself into a place where I can stitch it. Not today. Then I did a Christmas in July. Oops. It's in a really fancy project bag. Ziploc. You might have heard of them. This is a Dimension Sal kit. Ornaments. So I started this one. Sorry for the glare on these like shiny sheets. Ooh, Christmas Village ornaments, and I've started this one. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do an ornament a day. Not a day, maybe a month. maybe it was nicer to myself on that. Yeah, I didn't get very far. I really like it. I made the mistake of cutting my fabric down because I didn't know how to space everything if it was all 6 on the kit fabric. So I cut everything into 6ths. And now it's just awkward to stitch. So I'll probably finish this one, and then I might buy some bigger fabric to make it less awkward. I do have a small hoop, but it's like I don't want to stitch it in hand, and when I put it in my frame, it's like covering up like a portion of it. It's just not ideal. So that is more of like a technical issue in stitching it. And I haven't figured out how I want to handle it. Okay. Still in 2021. So next I did Halloween Quaker. This is in another 805 Stitcher bag. This is from Leela's Studio. Whoa. Whoa, shiny. I am stitching this in mostly called for again, some changes, some overdyed floss. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Crystal Eek from Picture This Plus. I worked on this last year. I would say I'm almost halfway. There are errors all throughout, but that's okay. I really like it. You can actually see it with the ring light. You can see those sparkles. Woo. Cool. Floss tube nose. Some of the changes I made are I'm using a sulky variegated. Some of the fancy floss I didn't have, so I was doing a blend, things like that. If you have questions, I will, I'm happy to answer them. Next, I did Praiseworthy Stitches, Seedy Pumpkin Cottage. Oh, it's going to be shiny because I have it in a sheet protector. One second. Go. So this is Seedy Pumpkin Cottage. I started this October 1st, 2021. And I filmed like 3 videos that I haven't posted, and so I can't remember what you've seen last. So I'm not putting in any previous photos or anything like that. I want to remove the barriers to filming. So I'll try and do progress photos after this. Called for floss, which is just a bunch of over dyed. It does have beads. This is on, oh, I don't remember the fabric. I think I have my card in here either. It's 40 count, which for beading is trouble. But I did test it, and the way the beads are, I think it'll be fine, except maybe for the eyes. So this is where we're at. It's really pretty. It's fun to work on. It's just, it's thick. Like this is full coverage essentially on 40 count, so. Oh, and I frogged half of it. Sometime after filming, I realized that the door was the wrong color. It's not supposed to be green, so I've taken it out of here. Still have to take it out of there. And on 40 count, it's not very nice. It's supposed to be black, so I think that'll look better. Again, another 805 Stitcher bag. She has great choice in fabrics. I really like. She has a floss too. You should go watch her. She's great. Next is a favorite. This is the Renato Parolin Christmas. I don't remember the designer of this bag actually. Not a great picture. I'm stitching this and first I started it December 1st, 2021. So this is almost 2021 is almost over. I made my own floss monster. This is on 40 count buttermilk by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm on the 3rd tier of the tree. It's looking really nice. It really looks nice from far away too. Everything is called for or called for-ish, close, except the snow is that, oh, what is it called? DMC Diamant. It's on the spool. It's very shiny. It's also thick for 40 count. Don't be like me. It's not meant to be separated. It's a bit of a pain to get in there, but it looks nice in person. It's very shiny. Oh, looks so good. Okay, that's it for 2021. We're now in 2022, and there was quite a bit of waiting. Like, I didn't start anything until June of 2022 because there weren't a lot of WIPs. And then, you know, I realized, who cares if there's a lot of WIPs? I didn't. So then on June 1st, I started Thursday Priscilla Dolls by Hemlock and Rye. Oh, same issue. That, see the shiny there? It's from the plastic front bags. Thursday Priscilla Dolls, there's two versions. There's like a dark version and a bright not dark. Like the front and the back, so like a faded and a brights. I'm doing the brights. I'm doing a conversion though, 1 second. I'm not gonna be able to get them. They're buried in there. I'm doing conversion to Sulky. And happy to share what that conversion is. Dot Dot Goose. Oh, Dot Dot Goose. That is the maker of that Gnomes bag and also this one. Fabric. Can't remember. 32 count. Stitch Me, Lugana. Isn't it gorgeous? It's just gorgeous. Look at it. That flower in the middle. So good. I'm almost done-ish. This is on WIPGO and my year of WIPs, so would like to get it finished. Doable. That border is not so bad. It's not very stitch heavy, and I've got the bones almost all the way around. You know, I gotta finish this bird, and there's some baskets here, and then I gotta do, I don't know. I gotta do stuff over here. I'd like to get it done. It's on WIPGO twice, so we'll see. And stitching with the sulkies on this fabric is really nice. Very enjoyable. Like 32 count and sulky is like a sweet spot. It's really, really pleasant. You can get this on Julie's Gumroad, I think is her site. Okay. Then I joined Teresa Kogut's Patreon. This is going to be a little hard to see because I've highlighted all over the backside, but oh no, we're good. This is the Green Coat Santa. This is from July of 2022, and I started in July 2022. I think I started in July 1st. Pattern dropped. I said print. I am doing it in a floss conversion though, to overdyes and some of the called for DMC, but more overdyes than not. But very, I try to stay true to the colors. So I can share those if you're curious. It is on a 32 count Silk Weaver solo die. 2/2. It's a Lugana. It's looking really good. I put a lot of work in to try and get this filled in. I finished his hat recently. I did the snowman star recently. This is also on WIP Go, and the are WIPs. Still a lot to do. This is very stitch heavy, but it looks so good when it's done. So I'm very excited to finish it. Do I have the fabric name written down? No. Definitely just a silver dye. Oops. That is not going to fit in that bag. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. Next up is the Equality Sampler by Plum Street. I'm not a huge patriotic stitcher, but I like this one. This is called for floss. It is on a 36 count Fox and Rabbit in Shrekie's Tan. And that's where I am. The letters are 1/1 and the rest is 2/2. And so that means all of this is 1/1, 1/1. The names are 1/1. On 36, it's fine. You just gotta go slow. And on 36 though, I do a full, my son would find that hilarious. I do full crosses on 36. On 40, I will do a half cross for 1/1. The flower, as you can see, it's tone on tone, looking a little bit like a fried egg at the moment. But I really actually like that for this sampler. I think it's like delicate and beautiful. I started this one 4th of July in 2022. In a beautiful bag, who the designer is escaping me. I can't remember. She has these beautiful edges though. Next, I did a Christmas in July piece. I did a Prairie Schooler, the Christmas Tree Farm. Oops, shiny. I love this primitive, very simple color scheme, red, green, brown style. But I'm not really, I don't really do prim. I live in like a colonial house, but I'm like it's not really me, I guess. So I did like a color conversion to a bunch of overdyes. So this is just on an 18 count white Aida. And that's where I'm at. So I've got, different greens. I like the shadows on these houses, like the two different sides. I think it's going to look really pretty when it's done. Very different from the original. I mean, loosely interpreted, right? But I think once I get into the forest here and you see all the different greens and then you have these different colored houses, it's going to be great. I am just sort of playing it by ear as I go, and I'm like, oh, this house, I want it to be blue. And then, I might be like, oh, I want another pink house up here, and trying to treat it kind of like a neighborhood, right? Like, unless you live in an HOA, doesn't matter what color your neighbor's houses are. It just matters what color you want your house to be. So that's kind of how I'm treating it. But I do want it to have some sort of color theory. So these are all kind of warm-ish tones. The blue is, it's cool, but it's edging warm. So Let's see. Whoa. Let's not drop it. Also, if you have questions about my needle minders, they're all likely from Mad for Minders. If you have a specific question, happy to help direct you. Okay, next is one that's on scroll rods, so I have to grab. Next up, I discovered that Pegasus does kits for the Marty Bells. So I started Hansel's Cottage. I know I was saying that I wasn't into Prim, but I really love like this style of like, wow, it's a lot. I guess maybe you'd call this, maximalism, right? Prim would be sort of minimalism, maybe. And I guess I'm a maximalist. It's kit fabric, kit Ada. That is upside down. Oh, it looks so good. So this is the chimney. This is the window at the top of the house. Can I hold this so that you can see what I'm talking about? This is this tree here. So I've got the chimney, the window. Oh, it looks so good. Like far away, it's like a painting. And there was a point in time where I was like, well, if it looks like a painting, why don't I just buy the painting? But the joy of stitching it and knowing that you stitched it and that every single color change is you and your hands. Amazing. Amazing. So good. This uses some blends. Oh, there's gonna be a bark because delivery is here. So I'm gonna pause. Okay, so for Marty Bell, I started this July 15th. Is that right? Yeah, 2022. So this was like close to my birthday. I love it. And I had done a couple of other full coverages that fell by the wayside. This one though is like standing the test of time. I really, really like this one. And I have about a page and a half finished. Okay. The actual birthday start I had though is, oh, we're gonna have an avalanche, is in an Evertotes bag. This is Anne Tong Uffendell. Shiny, sorry. Which is gorgeous. I am stitching this on 40 count R&R American Chestnut. I am using Vicky Clayton silks, which are all on, oh geez, on these spools. They look a mess right now. Let's see. What have I got going on here? And oh, I've got the border all the way around. It met up. Very exciting. And most of the work has been done here in this corner. Sorry, it's a very large and unwieldy piece of fabric. But I love the color of the fabric, and it's like this warm tone with the silk. It's just gorgeous. I would say there is 2 different colors of brown in here, but you can't really tell. That's okay. Everything else is gorgeous. There is 1/1, and this is 40 count, so I could show you. That's 1/1. So it's half cross. And that's 1/1 too. Looks good. Every time I see it, I want to work on it. There's something happening outside. I don't know what it is. Yeah, so you can see in the book, it's supposed to, it's supposed to look more basket weavy. So I'm not sure if I'm going to take out this little bottom section that I've done and change a color. Or if I really care. I don't know. Next, in another 805 Halloween bag is the Tiny Modernist crystal Halloween crystal ball. I only have a black and white picture, and I don't even have the center printed out. Oh wait, I might have it in Pattern Keeper now because I think I've switched over. 1 minute. Oh, I do. Nope. View PDF. Nope. Trying to avoid all of the lights. It's like a little game. There we go. So that is the pattern. I am stitching this on 40 count Elephant Run by Fox and Rabbit. I am 52% complete. It's really, really nice. This is a floss conversion to overdyes. Oops, where's she? And I love the 805 bags because she sends a little needle minder. I'm using like a chalkboard from Leo and Roxy. I'm using like a mist dye from Color and Cotton. Just a mishmash of floss, but all in these Halloween colors. Next up is Halloween Wreath by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is from October. What day is it? What? It's October. I reminded myself of the owl from the animated Disney Merlin. Who? What? I thought I had this. I don't have it as a Pattern Keeper pattern. Okay, print out it is. This is what? Who is Frosted Pumpkin? When? It's October 2022. And it is on, I bought the kit. That's why it's not on Pattern Keeper. I bought the kit. Kit fabric, kit floss. It's pewter and DMC. Look how close I am. Oh, it's so pretty. On WIP Go, it got called in January, so I did my section there. And then it's also on my Yarrow WIPs. So it'll get called again for WIP Go because I have it on there twice, and I'll get it finished up. That's all I have is, there's a bat that goes here, and the candy's done. So there's a bat, there's a little candy corn. I have to finish filling in like the wreath part and finish this potion, and then he'll be good. Oh, and the bat's on a stick, like a little candy stick I have to finish. But oh, it's gorgeous. I do have the Christmas one purchased, but I haven't started it yet. And that's 32 count, 2/2, which is kind of my sweet spot. I like 40 and I like the higher counts, but 32 is nice because I work on a computer all day, and it's a little, when I'm tired, it's easier on my eyeballs. Okay. AIO 1844. I started this in November of 2022 for Black Sampler November. It's by Modern Folk Embroidery. I bought the pattern and the floss from Evertote, so it's like the hard copy. It's with chalkboard, which actually you can see the variegation really nicely there. It's like a black to gray. I'm stitching it on a 40 count Fox and Rabbit Eureka. Whoopsie. And I've only got the top, but I've got the width, you know, so this is one side and then this is the top of the other side. So, and it's really pretty. Kind of, this is more true. It's a very warm neutral. And that floss just really pops off of the fabric. Is that it? No. Oh my goodness. Okay, hang on. Okay. Next is also in an Evertotes bag of this village, Christmas village. This is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. Which I'm sure everyone's seen. I am doing the Vicki Clayton silks. Which are in a Ziploc, and also I put some of them on floss drops. I would say if you do this, if you put them on floss drops, they need to be protected because they will start getting fuzzy. So I tend to twist them and then I put them in a bag of their own, so they're not kind of like rubbing. Where am I? Oh, this is on 40 count Fox and Rabbit Duxbury. I have finished one block. And I had started this one. And you can see I have floss hanging and just decided I was done. Typical. I like to work on this at Christmas time and the winter, but I didn't work on it too much this Christmas was really busy. Just a lot going on. So I didn't get to stitch as much. Maybe I'll bring it out in July for Christmas in July. Next is the Christmas Sampler by Happy Mood Point. They're on Etsy. So they have it as a sort of monochromatic piece, just in blue, which is really pretty. I decided to do my own floss conversion, so I've got a couple colors. I might add some more. It is on a 40 count R&R Barb's blend. Again, I didn't work on it too much, but I really like it so far. I've put in a black floss and a pink floss into my pack, but I haven't actually used it yet. I'm not quite sure. I think I might bring them up into here. So we'll see. Okay, Dot Dot Goose Bag. It's a Christmas cowboy boots. All right, next is Jane Atkinson, which is another favorite. One of my favorites too. I haven't worked on it in a while. And it's got an actual photograph, so I don't want it to catch the glare. Beautiful piece. I've seen a couple of people are working on this. Emily Eclectic Possessions, I think, just started it, which has been making me want to pull mine out. I started this, it was my New Year's start of 2023. This is on, oh no, oh geez. 40 count Zweigart Platinum. Let me just show you the whole thing here because it's huge. Oh, it's so pretty. I am making some conversions to this though. I am stitching it with the Swat Alger. Similarly, you want to protect it. I don't know if you can tell. They start to get fuzzy. Oh, there you go. That white is a good one. So just a word to the wise. But the changes I'm going to make is I'm making this into a John Milton sampler. So instead of Jane Atkinson, it'll say John Milton. Some details about him, and then I'm going to put a quote from Paradise Lost because it is an Adam and Eve sampler. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's looking really nice though. I have, I forget what the brand is. It's like the loops and hooks for scroll bars, and it's really nice, but it's Velcro, so it does stick to your threads. So you want to be careful to not put it anywhere near your stitching. It's always a roll it up kind of thing. This is an 805 stitcher bag. Cats and plants. Okay. We're getting there. One more in this bin, and then we move up there. Next is the 1816 Virlanda. I'm stitching this on a 40 count graham cracker fabrics in sugar cookie with an XJU design. And what's the color? Old Rosewood. The pattern is from Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly magazine. Do I have? Oh, yeah. It's over several parts. But I love the Virlanda style. I love all of the motifs. And I love it so much that I started it. And then I love it so much that I have this corner. This is a potential UFO. I love it, but I just don't pull it out to work on it. I'm nervous about running out of floss. I do have a lot. I have, what do I have? 6 skeins of 8 meters each, and it's 1 strand. So I have a lot of floss, but if I run out, what I might do is bring the border down past the alphabet and start working on motifs, and then figure out if I want to do the whole piece or maybe just some of the motifs. I don't have any idea. It's beautiful. I think it would be really lovely to do this sort of purpley version of it. But I'm just not drawn to work on it, and I have a lot of WIPs, and it's huge, and it takes a lot of time. But also, it doesn't hurt anything to just sit here. So I don't know. Getting everything back in the bag is always a challenge. Okay, take a break. I'm going to swap things around, and I'll be right back. All right, that was a little bit longer break than I intended, but here we are. So the next thing I started was the Winter Cat Sampler by Cooler Design. I started this in March of 2023. It looks like, oops, if I can make it a little bigger. It looks like this. Sorry for the glare. And I had originally broken this up into like, what was it, 12 like monthly, like I was trying to finish it in the year, and that didn't happen. What am I at here? I'm doing the called for DNC. This is on 28 count Lugana. I am currently 52% done, and this is where we're at. And that's 52% of just cross stitches, not the back stitch, of which there is a lot. Oh, it looks so good though. So the last thing I worked on was this tree and the cat. There's no back stitching there. I've started back stitching up here. So the squirrel is back stitched. There's the long stitches of the needles, the pine needles. Some back stitch in the birdhouse. And I've started the, I don't know what flower those are. That may be paper whites. I've started the paper whites, but I haven't finished them. It's gorgeous though. I'm enjoying working on it. And yeah. So this was a restart actually, because it was one of the older kits I had worked on. I originally had gotten it as a Jan Lynn kit. So I restarted that in March. Next, I decided, well, it couldn't live on its own. So I started Spring Cat, which will look, maybe that's a better way actually. Look like that. So much glare. Sorry guys. There we go. Also by Cooler Designs, I started this one April 1st. That one is actually on scroll rods. Again, called for DMC. Let me just get my parked threads out of the way. 28 count Lugana. Get the bunny done. Those eggs aren't filled in. They're actually like robin's eggs. Primrose is pretty much done, and I'm coming over here working on the, is this a pansy? No, a viola. These are gonna look so pretty when they're done though. I can't wait. And I haven't purchased the winter or the Halloween one yet. I figure I'll buy one of them when I'm done with Winter Cat, and we'll go from there. This is in a 805 stitcher bag. Books, cats, lit cat, and stitching. My dog shaking in the background. Next up is Spring Fairy, 805 stitcher bag. This is a dimensions kit. It will look like this when it's done. It's a gold collection. So it's got like filament, like the filament in it. I'm just using the kit fabric, kit floss. So it's a 16 count blue Ada, and that's where I'm at. So I've got the tree coming in here. This is like the mountains in the background. Maybe I can. A lot of fun. I am doing it the way that it's called for, so that means, you know, sometimes it's 4 threads, 10 stitch, sometimes it's 1 thread. It just depends, but that's what gives it that dimensional quality, and it's okay. I've found a way that works for me. I keep 2 needles on my needle minder, which means I can switch between them as needed. Next is Home of a Needleworker 2 by Little House Needleworks. I started this May 22nd, 2023. It will look like this. A lot of people have been stitching this recently. Been seeing it on floss tube. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha. I'm doing my own over-dyed floss conversion, but very similar to the called for. And I was just working on this yesterday, so that's where we're at. I've got most of the house in. I don't have any of the words or anything like that, but it's looking really pretty. I feel like I'm rushing. It's because I'm trying to squeeze in the rest of this before my son comes home from school. So it feels a little faster, that's why. Then Lola Crow had a mystery cell called The Greenhouse of Oddities, and I love greenhouses, I love plants, so I was on board with that. I also loved the called for floss colors. It seemed really bright, but kind of spooky. I'm stitching this on a 28 count hand dyed by Stephanie in a one of a kind. It's an ice dye, as you can see. It's got, there we go. Oh, it's looking so good. And I am at 58%. And I've started bringing the greenhouse up. So this is the top point. There's a crow on top. And then there's like another section on this side. It looks so nice though. I was worried about the fabric. It's very loud, but it also kind of gives off that, like, you know, old greenhouse, slimy, I don't know, mossy kind of feel. And the greens pop enough on it. There's still back stitching to do. I haven't done much of that. I think I've only done the letters there for the bench. Really enjoying that one. That's on my year of WIPs and WIP Go, and it was called this month, so it'll come out again. Next up is Garden of Erie. I started this one July 15th, 2023. This is by Plum Street Samplers. It's like Frankenstein's monster, Mrs. Frankenstein, spooky tree as Adam and Eve. Moss. This is on 30 count Old Salem linen, which is a little, like, it's like a kind of a loose weave, but I like that because it makes it look like really old. Whoa. And Mrs. Frankenstein is in, for the most part. A little ghostly on the fabric. I might do a little back stitching, maybe. We'll see. She shows up a little better in person than she does on the camera. This is Prairie Schooler Summer Samplers. I do plan on stitching them all, but for right now I'm stitching this one here. I am using the called for DMC, except I went down a shade in the 336s. I think I'm doing 6.4 instead of 6.3 to show a little bit more contrast with my fabric, which is a 28 count mushroom Lugana. And it's looking pretty. I really enjoy working on this one. And I back stitched the swan because it wasn't, that was the white that I changed out. And then I back stitched it to make sure it like kind of showed up a little more. Okay, let's see. Oops. Next is Vibster's Antique Alphabet Band, which I got in the Silk app. I only have a black and white printout. Apologies. It's much more vivid and beautiful than this. To give you a sense, these are threads. This is my own conversion, but again, very, very true to the colors. I'm stitching this on 46 count color and cotton aged paper. It's on Scroll Rats. I can't remember if I've gotten any color into this except the white. I hope so. Let's find out together. Oh, we do, just a little bit. I haven't gotten to any of those amazing blues though. So, oh, that shows up pretty good. The white shows up pretty much like that in person. So it's a little tone on tone, but it does pop. The green looks nice, the red looks nice. I'm really excited to see the blues on here though. You know, like, it's gonna look real good. I started this one, when did I start it? July 20th, so this was just before my birthday. All right, next up is Sleepy Hollow by Hair and Needle. It's an Etsy shop. This is in a vintage owl lady bag, which is like a gory fabric. Oh, so good. This is the pattern. You can see my conversion here. I've switched to some over dyes. I'm stitching this on 30 count Old Salem. It has some really funky water spots in it. That's the back. But I'm enjoying it. So you can see that big water spot. If it annoys me after I'm done stitching it, I might just spritz it a little bit and kind of change the shape of those water spots because it's not color fast. So I've just got her dress. Love Sleepy Hollow though. I live in New Jersey, and before that I lived in New York City, and so I enjoy going up to Sleepy Hollow. Though it's madness around Halloween. Okay, next up is Cat Tapestry. This is in a So Much to Love bag. I started stitching this on August 10th. We had to put down one of our sweet baby girls, Kelly, on August 10th, so I wanted to get it started. And then her sister passed just a couple of months later. So this is going to be, I'm changing these into 4 cats that look like the cats that me and my husband have had while we've been married. So this one is going to be our cat Kelly. This one is our cat Finian. This will be our cat Patty. And this will be our cat Benny, which is the cat that my husband had since he was a teenager. So, but I also knew and loved. And we lost him right after we got married. So this is by Tiny Modernist. I'm doing it in the Cold for Floss, except the cats I am changing to match our cats. I'm stitching this on, what is this fabric? 40 Count Cypress by Fiber on a Whim. It's a really sweet piece. It's really, really nice. So I'm changing this one to look like our cat Kelly. So in the picture, you can see that the cat is mostly black with a little bit of white, and Kelly was mostly white with like a black tortoise shell. And then this top cat you can see is gray with black booties. Our Finian was gray with white booties and a big old white belly. So I made his little primordial pooch a little more poochy because he was a big guy. And our cat Patty actually looked a lot like this. She was a little tortoiseshell. So she'll go there, and then Benny's gonna come down here. So really a beautiful stitch. I also, the dark color in here is actually, it's not 310, it's 3371, and that's what's used in the center of all the flowers and stuff, but I just changed it to 310. I liked the black a little bit better to show the contrast, especially because I'm already using it for the cats, so. Okay. Next up is Autumn, which is in a Joanna 1966 bag. That's the name of her shop on Etsy. She does these quilted style bags. It's Autumn by the Cricut Collection. I've showed this before, I know I have. Called for floss, including the silken colors. I'm stitching it on a 32 count Bestitch Me fabric. And I have the U. The color of the fabric is Bronze Age. Next is Hello from Liz Matthews, Flowers and Friends. This was from Liz Matthews's Patreon. I started this October. It's on just a 40 count vintage country mocha, but I'm doing it on the back side, so it's like the non-printed. And I just have a corner star. I don't have a cover sheet photo for that, sorry. Not sure where it got to. Maybe I do, and it's just, it was just in here. So I've just got this here. It is Halloween. It's got, you know, cobwebs and red-winged blackbirds and things like that. Called for flosses for that one, which is just DMC. Then I started the Namari, nope, I'm sorry, I skipped one, Black Cat Season, which is by Lindy Stitches, and it's like this 6 different patterns. Technically a finish, because I have a finish here, but also a WIP, because I'm gonna stitch them all. I am stitching it as the bell pull. It's on, which size is it? 32 count Grace Notes Blackberry Latte. And it's the called for DMC. I have only the first one done. I need to do some more of them. All right, I'm gonna pause. I'll grab this one down and then we're almost done. All right, this is the Namari Tapestry by Modern Folk Embroidery. I started this October 24th with a bunch of other people who were doing like a Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings stitch along. I am stitching mine with Gentle Arts Heirloom Gold on 40 count Shadow from Picture This Plus. Is that the right way? Yeah. So I haven't gotten too much. It's a little hard to work on. Not as hard as you might think. Started in the center because I was a little concerned about the fabric size. I have a good, 2 inches here. And I'll have the same on the side, maybe a little bit more. But I wanted to make sure I had enough fabric. There's a stitch along for this, as I said. They've had some Zooms. I haven't been able to join yet. I hope I'll be able to join the next one, if they have another one. Life's just been crazy. I can't stick that there. Okay, next is 1831 Christmas by Plum Street Samplers. I started this November 1st. It's the one with the cute little sheep and the poinsettias. Doing a floss conversion for this. Overdyes, but I'm doing B5200 for the white, so it's nice and bright. It's on a 30 count Swiss Cocoa Legacy. I think it's going to be really pretty when it's done. I really love the way it looks on the Swiss Cocoa. On my year of WIPs and WIP Go to finish, because the whole point of starting it is that it was a small. Because then in November, for Black Sampler November, I started a huge, Anne Grimshaw. Oh, which I love. I love it so much. I got the pattern and the floss, which is the Avere Soie Soie d'Alger Noir for my birthday. And I've started using this because it holds a bunch of needles and I can just pull a needle and work on it. I'm stitching this on 40 count needle bling fabrics in Heirloom. And the fabric is huge because Anne is big. Oh, but that's where I'm at. So I've got 2 Quakers done, well, half medallions done, and I'm on the 3rd. It's blowing out a little bit. The fabric is, it's showing up a little bit. You can see the modeling. It's not quite as bright as that's showing though. It's a little more tan. And I am just so excited. I have a long way to go though. I've got these 2 done and all of that to go. It is I'm keeping it in a Joanna 1966 bag. Holiday Sal from Modern Folk Embroidery. I don't know if that's the top or the bottom. That's the top. Like I said, my Christmas is really busy. I didn't get very far, but I bought the kit. I haven't even opened up all of the packages yet. It's like, you know, just life has been really, really crazy. It's beautiful. I love it. I've seen the finished product. Like, it's gorgeous. But I haven't even like cut some of these flosses yet. But did that stop me from starting other things? The answer to that question is no. So I did start that on December 1st, and then January hit, and in January and February, I have started 5 things. So there are 5 more WIPs. I started another full coverage, but this is Child of the Universe. It was Child of the Universe. You'd probably like to continue to see it, which is Heaven and Earth Designs. This is by Josephine Wall. I love it. 28 count, easy grid, 1/1, full cross. And that's the hand that he's sort of blowing out of. A little universe inside. I only have 0.3% done. It's 1,000 stitches. I started it and got 1,000 stitches in. So, but it looks like something rather than nothing. And that to me is a win. Okay. Then Teresa Kogut decided to have a 2-year-long, sorry, floss tube nose, 2-year-long Sal Joanna 1966 bags, which I couldn't say no to. The called for, but I have switched to a couple of overdyes. I'm stitching this on 40 count up in the attic. I've done February, and I'm working on March now. March kind of like goes down to here and over to there, and there's a house. It's gorgeous. It's really, really pretty. Next, I decided, well, I have this Bella Filipina kit that I bought, which was part of a Sal. That was also a mystery, and I'd really like to stitch it, and what better time than now? Ever Totes bag. I don't have all the cover photo printed out for all of them, but I'm sure you've seen it. It looks like this. Kit, everything, beads, fabric, floss, and I've started over here. So this is summer. I've got the grid in, but I wanted to start here. I had to kit the DMC myself, I guess, because that's why I started in summer, because those are the ones that I had. Another 1966 Joanna bag. Then Homespun Samplers had a BAP Sal with Colorado cross stitcher for Charlotte Warrington, so I had to buy it. It's no joke. It's a BAP. It doesn't have the stitch count here. It's in the back. 472 by 452. She big. She big. Gorgeous though. There is a stitch along. Olivia is hosting it on the Homespun Sampler website. I think today is the last day to buy the kit. But I bought it. This is 40 count. No, it's 32 count Mason linen in Sewing Box is the color. I have made changes to the colors. So here, this white part was like a really bright yellow, and so I've changed that to beige. I wasn't holding it the right way. Change it to beige. I've deepened this blue. I've deepened the gold. I've changed out the orange. I've made a lot of changes. But it's looking really, really nice. And this is going to be my wedding sampler for me and my husband. 48 whips plus the 2 finishes I had, which are also whips. So 50 whips. Yeah, so if you stuck around, awesome. Happy to have you here. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you'll like, subscribe, all those things, that'd be great. If not, that's okay too. I might not be everyone's cup of tea. That's cool. Hopefully now that I've done this, I can be a little bit more regular and just show you updates and provide progress photos from the WIPs that I've just showed you. Okay, take care. Talk soon. Bye-bye.